Welcome back to your next wild weekend. I'm your host, Byron Goggin. You know, for some people, the closest they'll ever come to a whale is watching one on television. But if you just get up off your butt and make the phone call and book that once-in-a-lifetime trip to Alaska, you too could be close enough to get wet by a whale spout.
I think the thing that was impressive today is to watch the whales and these massive animals and almost gentle with one another, rubbing alongside each other and diving together, and no collisions, no bangs, just a ballet almost underwater as they would come to the surface and breach and then head back to the depths.
To think that they're moving that huge weight through the water in such a acrobatic and ballet, it's amazing. You know, they have a huge force through that through their tail, through the ventral, and that, you know, kind of brings them along and lets them glide through the water, as well as they'll dive really deep and use that tail to come up, and just can fully breach right out of the water.
Oh, it's just amazing to see these whales that are just monstrous in size, and they're moving slowly and gracefully, and then to see them dive and the tail go into the air, it's just the greatest thing.
The tails are just amazing. Each one has his fingerprint, and you can identify them over and over again and see how they change relations to one another in their position for swimming. And we learned that the whale, the white part of the whale tail, if it's scarred, will turn black, and if it's the black part of the tail, it turns white, which is sort of a unique signature of Mother Nature gives the whale.
Researchers can often keep track of whales by identifying them by their scars. Another way to track and learn about whales is listening to them talk. Their grunts and groans have been described as that of a pig rooting in the mud, or even a trumpeting elephant. But no matter the case, it's a language that researchers and guests in this case are trying to understand.
I can actually hear the squeaking, the sounds they make, and as we get closer, I'm hearing more.
What's it sound like to you?
The whale kind of has a winter's off. They had this particular group of whales winter in Hawaii, and there is no feeding in Hawaii. So their entire winter they're expending energy and nursing calves and mating, and they migrate back here. And this is their feeding ground. So when the prey is here, they are feeding virtually continuously. They will catnap, so to speak, on the surface anywhere from 10 minutes to perhaps a half an hour, then go back at it. But what I've seen, when the prey is in, they seem to be just about continuously feeding.
There's a lot of different feeding patterns that whales have, and this particular is called surface feeding, where they're just kind of porpoising down below the surface and coming up. And these are baleen whales, humpback whales, that have these ventral grooves underneath, and so as they go down, they bring in, you know, several thousand gallons of water, and it expands out their grooves, and it filters the feed through their balings, and then they expel that water when they're under, and then they come back up and they take a breath.
It's something you need to do, and anybody can do it, especially this way. It's, you know, you get on a boat and you just get to watch, and it's exciting, it's easy to do, it's fabulous.